our last day here on this stage. So you guys are in for a treat. We're absolutely delighted that you've chosen to be here with us. We've been working through the last 2 days, the theme for the African Food Systems Forum: recover, regenerate, and act. And today we're talking about action. And what does that mean for chefs? What does that mean for eaters? And how do we take that action? My name is Paul Newnham. I am the Executive Director at the Sustainable Development Goal 2 Advocacy Hub and the Chef's Manifesto. Today can also take away some beans with you. And we're going to be sharing some beans out where people can take a bag of beans, they can scan a recipe card, and then they can actually go and cook some of these recipes back at home. So very worthwhile going down and speaking to the team there. The Chef's Manifesto is a network of chefs that are now in over 90 countries, committed to the Sustainable Development Goals, committed to driving forward conversations on food systems. And they are connected to 8 thematic areas, which you can see here. And if you go to the Chef's Manifesto on any of the platforms, Instagram and things like that, you'll be able to see more detail there. And so if you are a chef, we'd love you to join us. We're actually having quite a number of chefs joining the program at the moment, but it's a network which we bring together chefs to be able to communicate and talk together and to be able to share. And today we've got absolutely 2 amazing chefs. We've got, I'm going to welcome up to stage 2 chefs. My good friend, Chef Claude, who hails from Kigali, Rwanda, and also Chef Epiphany from Tanzania, hometown. Give them a welcome up to stage, please. How are you guys? Are you on this side or this side? That side. I thought we were crossing over. So, Chef Claude, how are you first? Great to see you. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
My name is Claude Degemunzi, professional chef based in Kigali, Rwanda. I'm part of Chef Manifesto. What I like about the Chef Manifesto is what it stands for, those thematic area that you can see behind me. The one particular I was delighted to be part of is how to reduce food waste. Because at the essence of every chef, we have a passion for feeding people. So when we know that there are food being wasted, it's personal. It's kind of personal. So that's why I try to see and maximize any ways how to avoid to have food waste. So in Kigali, I visit culinary schools, and I go talk to students who are about to graduate to be aware about food waste, so portions and all that. But anyways, today we are here with the Beans is How campaign, which is pretty much how to promote people consuming beans. And because we know beans are good for us nutritionally and it's good for the soil. So the dish I'll be making today, it's a special dish. It could be used as in a cocktail setting or just appetizer. And what I did is I took some cassava flour. I don't know, for people who have had cassava fufu, normally it's tasteless, it's bland. And the idea is that the taste is in the sauce, like in the dip. But this time we will have some seasonings. And so I took the flour, mixed it in with some ghee butter, and seasoned it with salt, pepper. So shape it in a bowl and crusted them with beans. So with cassava, we know cassava has a lot of vitamin C, and the beans already is iron-rich beans, so which is a plus. Then I cook it in the bean stew. So as it cooked, it shaped up and firm up. So paired with that, I made a sweet pepper sauce, which adds a little sweetness to that dish. So I hope you're gonna enjoy that.
So you've got cassava, you've got beans in it, and these beans, are these the beans that you used?
Yes, I use those beans.
So you use these high iron beans, which are a result of the Pan-African Bean Research Alliance from CGIAR working in bringing together this high iron bean. and then working with Harvest Plus and Farm Fresh to get that out in a unique way. It's a great story. If you haven't seen it, check it out online. It's a social venture. You get carbon credits and everything, but also chefs love it because it's pre-cooked, it's easy, but the flavor is there.
Yes, not just add the flavor.
Okay.
And if I may add a little thing, this dish, also what I like about it, it could be a fun family act.
Yep.
They can do it together, the parents, the kids together. It's not complicated, but it's a different task.
Yep.
So when you do that, it has to be wrapped and cooked, otherwise it will fall apart. So it will be a good activity, family activity.
A good family activity.
Yes.
I like it. I can't wait to see.
Yeah.
Well, let me. I know you're getting prepped and ready to go. So let me come over to you, Chef. How are you?
I'm fine.
It's good to be in your hometown.
Thank you very much. You are most welcome.
Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do? Because I met you here in Dar, and we're going to become good friends now.
Okay, thank you. I'm a Tanzanian. My name is Epifania. I'm working at Hyatt Regents Dar es Salaam. I have 15 years there. I'm a sous chef now. Today I'm here to introduce my food, which I made myself. For starting into scratch, my recipe, everything's from me. It's based on beans. I have 3 beans here according to my recipe. I think you will enjoy. Beans is good for everybody. Beans is nice, it protects you for your health, for health kids. It's good also for favorite. For example, I come from Mosh, Kilimanjaro. We use that beans for cooked. We made banana with beans. We make like mash. That food you can eat every time. You can eat in the morning for tea. You can eat in the afternoon for juice. Even if you can eat for evening, it will stay longer. Yeah, if you know the bean has zinc, protein, everything you can get from zinc. Even if in my hotel we introduce the food from beans in breakfast, we have in Swahili dinner, we cook with peanut, beans with peanut, we serve with rice, we serve beans with coconut sauce, maybe you can serve with rice, or in the barbecue, wherever you eat, according to the salad. But today I made the wonderful gluten-free yam with spillet millet.
Wow.
That is nice food, delicious.
So what is it? What have you got in there? Is it
Here,
yam? Ooh.
as you see, it's boiling because the yam is taking time. I didn't show anything here because the process is longer. So I give that the demonstration small one. We take the yam, we peel first, we wash, we peel after we boil it. And also we take the pellet, we soak it, we boil again, we strain the water. After,
This one. Let's pull some up.
the yam will look like this, but still it's not soft. It's supposed to be soft.
Yeah.
If it be soft, you get good mash. The combination is really nice. So after we drain the water, I mash the yam. I put salt, pepper. I put the millet. I mix till it's mixed. After, I can use butter or oil for that recipe. After I make patty, that is called cake. It's local cake. I make the pat. After finishing, I dust in ground flour. Also the same beans, that is dal, chickpeas, wherever.
Yeah.
And in our Tanzania, we have kunde, we have bahazi, wherever you have. But still you can use because it sells. After, I put the water in the oil, I pan fry to get the color, golden color. After finishing, I made the sauce. The sauce which is based on beans. I use that beans. That beans is already cooked and salted. So I didn't add salt for this one. I just mash this, I blend in the blender. I get small soft puree. I take the pan, I put onion, garlic, I saute till onion is still soft. I add that, I cook that puree for 30 minutes because it's already cooked. As you know, beans is taking longer. That's why the people, they don't like it because it's waste time to cook the beans. Almost 2 hours, 3 hours if you want to get delicious food. So after I had in that puree beans, I had salt, black pepper, and coconut sauce. The coconut sauce which I use is original, fresh from shamba. We call shamba in the village. I blend it. I didn't strain. I use all that one. It's be soft. I use that. After that one, I put there to simmer to get cooked. That flavor is amazing. Also, I made a salad. That my salad, I take beans, I put cucumber and all colored pepper, onion, salt, pepper, and the lemon. The taste is yummy. And after, I come to put the meat sauce. The mixture of this salad is this one. Maybe I can try to mix here. You will see what is I'm talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where I'm getting started with my cassava balls. So I already put some butter in my flour, and this is pretty much the color you want to see.
Yeah.
It should be very soft. What I did as well was add some salt and pepper.
Yeah.
So the next step would be shaping it in the ball shape
Yeah.
and crush some beans on top
Yep.
of it. And the idea is that you wrap it and cook it wrapped. Otherwise, if you put it in the water, it will just fall apart. And so the next step would be make the sauce.
Yep.
As this is cooking, I'll make the sauce, which is a sweet red pepper based sauce.
Yeah.
And so we cook it and blend it, and hopefully you like the end result when the sample comes out.
I can't wait to taste.
Thank you.
How's the salad going,
Mm.
Chef?
The
You're
salad
putting it
is
together?
still good. I still put together. I mixed. I put lemon juice. I put parsley to get the color.
Okay.
So the salad is very delicious. Because it's fresh. Everything is fresh from shamba. As I told you. You know, Tanzania, we have a lot of vegetables. We eat fresh all the time. We start for breakfast, we eat fresh till midnight. Even we sleep fresh. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Is there anyone from Tanzania here? Good to hear. Who's having a fun time in Tanzania? Who's enjoying the food? Yeah, the chefs that were here all went to the market yesterday. We let them have a little bit of time to go exploring, and they went to the market and found lots of different things. So we're very excited by the fresh food that's here in Tanzania. So Chef Claude, you've got the together. This is the way that you kind of shape it. Yep.
Yes, and that's why I said it could be a nice family activity. So, you can split your team, the kids here doing this. The idea now, so now this is the shape I want.
Yep.
The next step would be I will wrap around in some cling film. And also because cling film sometimes have hard time resisting the heat, we also add a layer of aluminum foil. But I have tried it in another way. It's just I haven't done it here. But also can use banana leaves, which
Okay.
would be more
Interesting.
sustainable and less food waste.
Yep.
But also the banana leaf has its own particular taste that it adds to the dish. So the idea is that while it's cooking the bean stew, it soaks up all the good flavors of the beans inside the cake.
Amazing.
Right.
And these and tell me a little bit about the cassava in terms of an ingredient. How do you enjoy it? What's it good for? What do you know about it?
Cassava has so many things you can do with it. Besides that, it's rich in vitamin C. Cassava can be eaten raw, the root. We cut it sometimes like French fries size, and it could be like an amuse bush. Some people add salt, pepper, Also can be cooked. The good thing also about cassava is that we also use the leaves.
Yeah.
The leaves have a bitterness to it, and basically you have to cook it for a long time to get the bitterness out of it. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. And then the beans are the high iron beans, so they've
Yes.
got they're like
Yeah.
biofortified,
Mhm.
and so going to give you that extra push alongside the fiber, the protein, the folate, the macronutrients as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
How's the salad going, chef?
It's good.
You've added some cucumber.
Yeah, yes, cucumber, peppers, tomato, beans, and onion and parsley, lemon, salt, and
Amazing.
yeah.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to try some food. Is anyone feeling hungry? You want to? You want to see this one? Can you show?
The
Pardon?
colors are vibrant.
That is
yeah.
fresh.
I should find really something to taste. Yes, we've got a question here. Go, Chef Pinky.
Chef Effie, I have a question for you. I know that in Tanzania there's a traditional dish. What is it called?
Our traditional dish, it depends where did you come. According to
Yes.
myself, I'm coming from Moshi. My
Yes.
traditional food is banana with beans you call kiburu. It's like soup.
Okay.
Yeah. And another one, we have banana cooked with beans called stew.
Yes.
Yes, banana we cut cubes is stew. So we have a lot. Bukoba, they use banana with beans, brinjal, and everything. Maybe they put fish wherever if they want fish. If they're non-vegetables, they leave the same.
And the I don't know,
Marangwe,
Maharangwe, what type of bean do you guys use?
we have a lot.
Also, you
lot.
can use
We have
any
a
type
lot.
of bean.
Different get.
Ah.
It depends the spice what you going to put.
Okay.
But the beans is a
I
lot.
like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm.
Taking this so well. I wanted to ask you, chef from Kigali, what is inspiring the recipe you're trying to, to cook for us to test? Is it inspired by, Oriental style? Is it the Rwandan style? Is there something inspiring what you're coming up with? Thank you.
As you know, in East Africa, we cooked pretty much the same. We use beans, we use cassava, and I always like cassava fufu, but I always thought like, how come it doesn't have any flavor? Why all the flavor has to be in the dip or the sauce? So that's how I came up with the idea. And so far, it looks good. Hopefully, you have a chance to taste it. But also like obviously the beans, so I thought it would be a great combination.
My question is for you, chef from Tanzania. You have made a recipe and you mix with our beans and the other vegetable. Now I want to know what types of beans have you used to create that vegetable over there. And when I look at the beans, it's not has any kind of soup or broth. It is just look like a beans. So can you advise us, we need to cook for how long and which kind of bean is sweet and good and it has going to have a good look on the recipe that you have made?
Thank you for that question. As I told you, the beans which I use is already boiled. Yeah, so I remove the pot, I wash to remove that softness. But if you are home, you buy the beans, you boil the beans. It depends. You need soft or al dente. Al dente is good for us, but people they don't like to eat that one. So you can boil the same, you can strain the water, you can mix together. Yeah, you can get good salad. The beans you can buy in Kariako, wherever, all beans, but it's red.
So
It's not soya. Soya is not good because it's soft.
okay, so after boiling, you are supposed to wash again before mix
No,
on them.
for local one you cannot. It's already packed.
Okay.
That's why we remove this thing. But for local one, you can use the same. Yeah.
I can smell this smell coming
Yeah.
through. You've got the onions on there, Chef
Yeah.
Claude. It's starting
That-
to Food
Yeah.
is something that connects us. We've got another question just over here. We're going to bring out also a little treat that some of the chefs pulled together while we're getting these two dishes going.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna a couple of the other chefs made something with beans just as a bite for people. But please,
What are some interest facts about beans that you can share with us?
there's so many different varieties of beans as you saw out there. I don't know if you walk past the stand there. There were that many different varieties of beans. Most people think 1, 2, 3 beans. There's hundreds of varieties of beans. And yesterday we had Jean-Claude from Pabra on stage. He's a scientist with Biodiversity CIAD as part of the CGIAR. And as part of that, they work to actually breed different bean varieties that better cooking time,
Yeah.
maybe more palatable. They have different kind of less gas. They have more iron. So they're looking at listening to the market, listening to farmers, trying to think also and eaters what is going to be more marketable, and how do we also address some of the challenges around health, around our environment. And so these varieties they're breeding are then taken to market. And so they go out into market, and then farmers start to use those stocks to sell them, so that then smallholder farmers can engage. And we may have a smallholder farmer, friend of ours who's a bean farmer, dropping by. And if she does come by, she can tell you a little bit more around some of those varieties. But there is lots of different varieties. Some are better for flavor, some cook differently. But there's lots of different beans out there. Claude, what's your favorite type of bean to use?
I love pinto beans. They have a particular creaminess as
Yes.
they cook. So yeah, if you talk in general pulses,
Yep.
I would say yellow lentil. There's a particular
Amazing.
richness and flavor. Yeah.
Amazing. Your favorite bean?
My favorite beans is red beans.
Red beans?
Yeah.
Like the ones that you're using here?
It's the same, but because it's still the same things which I use. Even I
Amazing.
use in home.
I'm going to invite a friend who just dropped by. I actually just said I'm hoping Elizabeth will drop by. Come please, Elizabeth. Elizabeth is the president of... well, she can introduce herself. So,
Hello.
how are you?
Good. Hi, Paul.
Okay.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine.
Hello.
So,
So
Yes.
we just got a question about different types of beans. You're a farmer. Introduce yourself properly, but also you know lots of different beans.
My name is Elizabeth Nsimadala. I'm a smallholder farmer and agripreneur from a rural district in Uganda called Bushenyi. I'm also the chair of the advisory board of the National Alliance of Agricultural Cooperatives in Uganda, the president of the Eastern Africa Farmers Federation, the director Women Affairs at the Pan-Africa Farmers Organization and the immediate past president, and the Africa representative on the board of the World Farmers Organization. So standing here to speak on behalf of the farmers is a mandate that have been given right from the grassroots, because we have structures right from the grassroots up to the global level. So I'm so happy that we are here. I know we launched this Beans is How campaign in Sharm el-Sheikh, and we are all passionate to, increase the consumption of beans. We need to double it. And there is no way you can talk about doubling the consumption of beans without the farmers. Because all these people that you see here, the chefs, need the right varieties from the farmers. So when I look at actually there on the stall, there's several types of beans, and all these beans are grown within this region, the East Africa region. Actually, we almost have like the same weather conditions.
Yeah.
So all the types, whatever type is there, we could be, maybe that they have different names, because in Uganda we have the nabes, then we have those yellow beans, we have the red kidney beans, we have, depending on, which country you're coming from, maybe some are actually known by their local names. But the most important thing is that we are working with the research institutions
Yeah.
to make sure that we have improved varieties of beans and we have the right seed. And that is when we can really double the production, because we can't talk about doubling the consumption without talking about doubling the production. They have to go hand in hand. And we believe in partnerships. We all need each other. So that's why it is very important and critical that we work together as a team with the chefs and with the development partners to make sure that the farmers have the capacity, they have the information, they get to know the right agronomic practices when it comes to, growing beans. They get the right information when it comes to weather and the different weather patterns and when they can grow the beans. They get to get the right information when it comes to post-harvest handling, because as chefs, we believe you are looking for the right quality, not the quantity. And as farmers, we are ready to deliver on that.
Amazing.
So count on us. I'm reiterating the support of the farmers within the region, within the continent, and globally to make sure that this campaign becomes a reality. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. You've got to stay and taste some food, and there might be some questions. We've got, how are we going, chefs?
It's good.
It's getting there?
Yeah.
Where are we at on your dish?
Pretty much we're about to make the sauce.
Okay.
And the food sample should be coming
So
up.
you've got the
very soon.
cassava flour, we've got the beans.
And the beans, the pepper, yeah. So
Making-
the idea, this is the shape it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And it'll be paired
Actually,
with,
actually,
right.
Paul, I'm the best chef.
Really?
Yes.
You want to take over?
Because I'm actually 38 years, but all these years, on a daily basis, I don't miss beans on my menu, because
Amazing.
we all know rural communities within this region, beans have to be on our menu every day. So I'll say I have 38 years of experience in testing beans. So I think I'm the right person to tell whether the beans have been prepared in the right way.
Okay,
So
I'll make
here
sure,
we go.
I'll
I
make
need to
sure
do
I
the
We're
try
testing.
and get
we're
some,
gonna we're gonna be doing some
tips
tasting.
from you.
What you've been making? How's it's done?
Yes, it's done. But
Well, yeah.
I bring you the inside to test because this is taking time. That's why it's just showing. But everything is ready. I think you will enjoy.
There's some.
And I need comments also for that. If you test, you can give me the consist bad, good. It's good for me. Yes, thank you very much. You're welcome.
Yeah, we're gonna get some food out in a second. I think they're just bringing it from out. We're gonna see what the 38-year veteran taster tells us, whether there's a thing. Are there any other questions for any of our chefs or for our president here?
I think the appetite is high.
Yes.
That's why they don't have the questions. So we need to do the testing.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
it's coming
Okay.
soon.
Okay, so which one is this one?
This is the one I was telling you about. So
What are people trying?
yes, the cassava is inside, and the crusted with beans, and it comes with sweet bell pepper sauce. So
Okay.
it's ugali, but seasoned ugali. I don't know if you had it.
I think we
before.
need you to
I
try
don't know.
this too, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Ugali is a Kiswahili word meaning posho or maize,
It's like a
maize
fufu,
millet
fufu,
or fufu.
fufu made of cassava.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
In my own language, we call it muogo.
We're gonna try it with the
So I garnish it with some shaving, coconut shaving, to add more flavor and more deep depth to the dish.
Ooh. Wow,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Thank you.
What do you think, Elizabeth?
Oh my God, it's so sweet. I've really trusted your skills,
Thank you.
and we look forward to testing more
There's more coming.
meals
Anytime.
from beans.
Anytime.
Is anyone? Everyone seems to be eating. Is there anyone that's got a comment on the food? Everyone's look at they're tasting all the different elements. There's something on top that's got kind of a
I put
there's
some
someone there.
coconut shavings.
I'm Tracy from Zimbabwe. I'm really enjoying the sauce
Okay.
and the crunchiness from the coconut shaving. I don't know if you know cowpeas or bambara nut. Can we
how
do
time? I can't hear you. Sorry.
cowpeas? Is
Just
the second,
hold the mic like almost like that. Yeah,
Alright.
perfect.
I don't know if you know cowpeas
Cowpeas.
or bambara nut.
Cowpea.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a type of bean
Uh-huh.
which we have in Southern Africa. So
Okay.
can I use the same recipe with those type of beans?
oh, right.
You can cowpeas.
Uh-huh.
I think so. We'll check for you.
Yeah.
But bambara nut is very good too. Very good food, good for the planet, good for your people as well. I just want to mention one thing. These plastic containers, we collect them and reuse them, okay? Because we also are very committed to not wasting things. Don't just throw them. Make sure we collect them. Okay. Any other comments or questions? Oh, yes, you can ask. No, you go, or you can make a comment for sure. Please.
Okay, good afternoon. I am Fatou. I am from the Gambia,
Thank you.
a very small country in West Africa. And I think we need this more than any other country because for us, our country, the consumption of bean is very minimal. It's not
Okay.
like we don't even farm it a lot. Not much of farmers are farming beans. I think we need a lot of orientation and education around the importance of bean to be able to know why do we need to farm it and why do we need to eat it. And I think this program is really very interesting and educative that I can take some of the information back home. But the food, I think what I love about the food is the aftertaste. Like after eating it, there's something that left in you that you can still
All right.
be
Okay.
controlling your
Okay.
Thank you.
your
You're
tongue.
welcome.
Thank you very much.
And now we
Yeah,
have
Paul,
questions of-
I just wanted to make a comment. Actually, as we
Please.
speak now, you know, the Africa Climate Week has been happening in Nairobi, Kenya. And climate change is the biggest elephant that we have in the room. But also beans are a solution because we all know that they fix nitrogen in the soil.
Yes.
But also when you look at the crops whose prices have been fluctuating, I think for the beans, prices have been stable. So I can say it's one of the crops that you can grow well knowing that the fluctuation rate is not going to be more than 5%.
Wow.
So when it comes to the return on investment, in investing in beans, it is also, it comes out very high. But also the other issue is that beans, they are one of those crops that you can grow anywhere. You can't complain of the space because you can intercrop them with anything, with coffee, with bananas, with with groundnuts, with cassava, with all the other tuber crops when
Yeah.
they are still young. So it's one crop that we should all embrace, and I invite all of you to make sure that you join this campaign so that we can double the production and double the consumption. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I think that's a very important point.
Yeah.
In like all kinds of farming, beans, peas, lentils are in all parts of the world are a cornerstone for actually productivity, from that nitrogen fixing, for water usage as well. Often many beans can grow in different types of soil, and they can also help use less water as well. And they also have a shorter
Maturity time.
yes.
It's actually less than 3 months.
Bettina, can we have some try this please? This one is
This is
perfect. We're trying yours now.
beans again.
Yes, so
Yum.
explain the dish.
Okay, so let me try it. It looks like meat, and I was a bit worried as also a livestock farmer because I know there's a campaign by the vegans to reduce the consumption of
That
meat.
is gluten free.
So let me try it and see whether
It
this
looks
can be
beautiful.
the best option for meat.
It's very good.
I know at home I have a burger that we make out of beans, with beans, brown rice, sweet potato, some different spices.
In that
and
sauce green one, I put chickpeas. So I eat 3 types: red beans, chickpeas, and dali.
in
Yeah,
the
but-
fritter.
Yeah.
Amazing. I like it.
It's amazing.
Good flavors.
Yeah.
Very confused. I don't even know now which one tastes better.
No,
So-
we just want you to enjoy.
Yeah. So
competing
I'm
and-
happy. I'm happy with the results of both chef gentleman and chef lady. Oh.
Fania.
Epiphania.
Yes, Epiphania.
Close.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think it's so delicious. With this, I think we don't even have to spend on the meat. Yes, if you say it's I mean, I have to speak it in a low tone because otherwise
Next.
some of us are carnivores and we might not want to miss the meat on our menu. But I might say that it is very delicious and I'm happy to have it on my daily menu. Thank you so much.
That's great. No, thank you so much. Any comments? Oh, we've got a comment here or question.
I am Esther from Tanzania, and I like the first recipe. I'll test the second one, but I wanted to comment that I need to get this recipe, especially for my kids. You know, in Tanzania, we consume a lot of beans, as she has said. But sometimes when they're in school, they consume beans and ugali, and when they come back home, they don't want to eat more beans. So if you have different kinds of recipes, they'll go for it. So I liked your recipe. Thank you.
I think they can find it on the website.
Yeah, we're gonna put all the web on the website for Chef's Manifesto. There is a number of recipes, and then we also have on our Beans is How website all kinds of beans recipes. We're also building a whole section on growing, because it's about eating food but growing, and this is the farmer chef connection, that we have to understand that food is part of a system. And this is what we're here talking about this week, a food system, which requires everyone, including people eating. And if the people eating don't like the food, it has a break in the system, because then that food is wasted or it's not enjoyable. And so we have to look at all the components. And that means coming together. It means pulling all the ingredients together in this important way. And so, eating delicious food is also a way for us to have conversations, to have dialogues about the food system, about food. And this is what I love about working with chefs, working with farmers. You can bring people together and you can have these conversations and dialogues. Yes, Chef Gordon.
As she mentioned schools, I want also to tell you that I have developed some beans dishes for the WFP in Rwanda, because I work with the National School Feeding Program. So we try to encourage, by adding more diversity in recipes and stuff. Yes.
Yeah, and I know when you were working with WFP on school meals, you were looking also at energy.
Yes.
And so how do you reduce energy use when you're looking at cooking beans?
Yes.
So how do you think about that? What were some of the learnings?
One of the learnings was most of them were using soaking the beans. So I advised them to soak the beans because it was drastically reducing the cooking time, as most of them were use wood as a fuel for cooking. So it helped a lot. So it also saved the environment, obviously.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so, Chef, what are some other Swahili dishes that you like to cook?
I cook ugali with beans, with leaves. We have dry beans, we have leaves also, we can cook together.
Wow.
And sometimes you can cook dagaa with leaves. So you can cook banana with beans.
Amazing.
Even my daughter, she likes beans.
Yeah.
When you ask what you want to do to eat today, I say, Mom, give me beans. Give me kunde. You know kunde? She likes kunde a lot.
Amazing.
Yeah, that is very nice food.
Good. Any other comment? Another comment?
Yes, actually, there's also maybe we are just talking about the bean seed, but we've also left out the bean leaves, because in the community where I come from, we actually start eating beans when they are 1.5 months old.
Okay.
Yes, once they start bringing the third leaf, then we start eating the leaves as we wait for the beans.
Yes.
Then as they grow, we also start eating the fresh beans as we wait for them to grow, and then we can dry them, and we can now eat what we call the dried beans. So I think beans is just a complete bean seed is just a complete menu of everything. If you're looking for vitamins, you'll get them. If you're looking for proteins, you'll get them. If you're looking for anything, It's just the dish that you can eat from January up to December without getting tired of it. So, thank you,
Amazing.
chefs, once again.
Thank
What-
you very much.
With the green leaves, what sort of dishes do you do?
What?
The bean leaves, how have you used them?
With bean leaves, we wash, we saute.
Saute them?
Some people, they put coconut. Some people, as I told you, they put peanut.
Oh, wow.
But this green, yeah.
And is there any special tips in terms of cooking? No? No?
Can I give you the tips?
Go.
Yes, I told you I have 38 years of experience. I come from a banana growing region, and I'm also a banana farmer. So once you cook the bananas, you can actually put them on top, and you're steaming them. You steam the bean leaves, and you can eat them steamed. Then for the beans, once you cook the beans, either in the pots, you can as well get the bean leaves and put them on top of the beans before you fry them. And then you can eat them like that.
So you
But
steam
also
it.
you can mix them with the bananas. Just have your bananas and get your leaves, mix it. What we call katogo in my language.
Yeah.
And you can add like ghee, and eat them like that. So it's I mean, I can't talk enough about the beans. It's just everything.
No, it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Is there any dishes that you...
Well, I've used it. There's a dish I make with mushroom carotte. It's also called oyster mushroom, and I saute with the beans leaves,
Yeah.
which is very incredible. That's the combination, the taste.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah, no, I mean, to me, this is where even these conversations like this, we've got two chefs, a farmer, we're having this conversation. Yesterday, we were talking with one of the scientists from CGIR. We had the day before, we had two people from two different foundations, all working in different areas. And the idea, I think, we need to learn from one another. And I think coming together, it's also learning across borders. So it's learning across, different environments. And one of the things in the Chefs Manifesto is we have chefs that work in, as in today, in hotels and food development. Yesterday, TV and cookbook writing, and we have chefs from all different perspectives. Sometimes home chef, sometimes cooking on a large scale, and I think each part of that brings different insights, different areas, techniques, different things that we can learn, and we all can learn. And so I think the idea of us coming together for these conversations is really critical, and focusing on a simple thing like beans as a solution, and saying, how does a solution like this, can we all contribute? Can we all get involved? And I think for me, today's kind of really about action. And so I think it's about what are the actions we can take. What do you think some of the actions, just from maybe the chef's perspective, is there an action that you think people can take in their kitchen? And then I'm going to ask from a farmer's perspective.
Well, first of all, we won't be able to do much without the farmers. And it's good to know, especially when you have progressive farmers like her, because one of the things chefs really want is to know their product, how the product grown, in what conditions, and it's a close collaboration between chef and farmer. We like to support our local farmer. I'm not gonna order beans coming from I don't know where if my local farmer have beans. So I think by exchanging things like that we obviously push people to consume more beans, and also as chef, obviously we know more about food than the regular people. So our role is not just to cook, but it's also to educate people, let them know what's out there, what are the different versions they
Yeah.
can do preparing, so that they can enjoy and so on. Yes.
Yeah. Any additions? I think we lost our lights, guys.
Yeah.
Feels like I've gone into the dark again. But go.
But for my side, I advise the people to eat more beans, and also to educate the people to get more for that and give them knowledge. And also for the people they practice, they're supposed to give us minimum 10 minutes to get beans cooked already, because the beans is taking a long time. So when
Yeah.
you think to cook, you say, I take 2 hours to stay to wetting the beans.
Yeah.
No, Let me leave, take another things.
Because the energy, the time, we had some chefs. We went with into Tanzania actually, out of Arusha, and we visited different communities. In the school, they were cooking the beans, and they'd start very early in the morning, and by 3 p.m. they had their lunch for the kids. But they weren't starting with soaked beans. They were starting from dry. Lots more firewood, lots more energy, lots more smoke. And so the chefs then, the next day, they called ahead and said, please soak the beans. They said, why? And so it was with a Maasai family, and they soaked the beans. And by 11 o'clock, everyone was standing around looking at each other saying lunch was ready, because they were cooked in 1.5 hours. Less firewood. They said, what are we going to do? And so sometimes it was just two chefs that just started to talk about it and saying, well, if you soak it and then cook in the same water, you don't have to throw the water. You can keep it, there's ways to, because people get worried if you're carrying the water. So there's all kinds of things like this. Farmer's perspective.
Maybe before I go to my parting shots, also to mention that actually the bean waste can also be used to make briquettes to address climate change.
Oh,
and
wow.
You're complaining about taking more time to cook the beans, but you can first soak them in water for some time so that you can reduce on the cooking time. And then with the briquettes, you can just put them maybe in the stove. For some of us who are coming from the communities and we are cooking with charcoal, so you can use those briquettes to put in the stove, and you just leave them to get ready on their own. But as a parting shot, I think we need to change the narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah, because beans are associated with poverty, where we come from. But we need to teach people the nutritional values in the beans.
Yep.
And for me, beans is how. So we need to look at beans as food security. We need to look at beans as climate change solution. But also we need to look at beans as money, because everything about beans is money. Thank you.
That's amazing.
My name is Moyo. I'm a chef from Nigeria. And I wanted to say thank you so much for this. The key word I've taken away from today is versatility. In Nigeria, we can be very stuck in our ways. Like, oh, I use honey beans to make this. I use type of beans to make this. And that sometimes limits people from seeing how much they can use beans in their everyday life. You can use beans to make waffles, to make bread, to make cake. So that way, the party that we had today, beans and cassava, opening our minds to see how much we can really use beans in different ways, it makes such a big difference. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. And I think this is really key for any change, is that versatility. How do we think outside the box?
And as a chef, you should join the Chef Manifesto.
Yeah. The invitation is there.
Yes.
Okay, I think we're gonna be bringing out one little treat. I'm gonna get you to taste this, and then we'll get them to come out and tell you what it is.
I don't know, a chocolate?
It's beans. Well, let's invite Chef Bettina.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So what's in this little ball here?
So we've got some black beans. We've got some local cacao from one of the stands over there, some local chocolate, and on the other side of the stand there's a moringa producer, so there's moringa honey in there, and
Wow.
some local peanut butter as well. So we went for a little forage in amongst the beautiful stalls here, and we tried to use as many local products as possible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Have we got any for anyone else to try?
Yes, we'll come out with them now. And then
Okay.
everyone can have a little sweet after the savory
Perfect.
dishes.
Thank you. Thank you, Chef. Well, look, we're coming to the end of our session today. We've got a couple more little treats coming out for you. Hopefully you've learned something through this conversation. Don't be shy. Come and say hello to the chefs. Ask them for tips. Visit us at the stand there. We have a number of recipes that you can find also online. You can scan them and then just open up the website. There is also some beans for you to take away, so you can actually go and make. I know people are taking some beans to plant them, and this is the good thing about beans. And then you'll get more beans. Or you can take them and you can soak them and you can eat them and make one of the recipes. So We encourage you over the next 2 more days before AGRF finishes. We're finishing tomorrow to stop by and grab some beans and talk to the team. Check out the Chef's Manifesto and or tell a friend or a chef where you go indeed to check it out. And also make sure you're contributing in your own way to putting another dish of beans on your menu in some sort of way. Supporting farmers through really valuing what they're growing, and also helping yourself, the planet, and also the affordability, the desirability of this important food group. So I want to say a big thank you to our special guest, Elizabeth, the president of East Africa Farmers Federation, and many other federations and titles, and our 2 chefs from that have come, well, not so far, but also some distance to be with us today. So a big round of applause for our group. And we'll be bringing out some of these little balls for you to taste in just a second. Please. Thank you.